Yo, this is King Earner coming to y'all live and direct. I want to speak on Calvin Klein today. I just was checking out an interview he was giving on This Is 50 by Jack Thriller, and the interview was a nice interview. He explained a lot of things to me. You know, this guy, Calvin Klein, he helped me in a lot of different areas. He helped me understand some things. You know what he helped me understand? He helped me get an understanding that there's truly no honor in the streets. What he basically said is that I didn't rat, I didn't snitch, I corroborated. I don't understand that. And I think what's going on when they get in these rooms, when they sitting down with these feds and the feds start scaring them and giving them things, throwing things in their face that they think that they might know, they start really folding up in like a chair, you know. There's no way you can tell me that you're a man of honor. I don't care who you are. And you have conversation for the feds. I mean, this is my take on it. Don't get me wrong. People can have conversations and don't talk, don't say anything. But this is my take on it. Feds start bringing up things they know you know. They start paying attention to your vibe, how you carrying it in there. They know. Then you agree to telling. When you agree to telling or corroborating, whatever you want to call, or you agree to whatever they're saying, what ends up happening is you become someone who's corroborating. Am I right or am I wrong? This is what he said. Go look at the video on thisis50.com. He said the feds asked him about Jayz and 50 Cent also. When they asked him about these individuals, or when they wanted to have a conversation, the conversation should have went like this. I heard of the things you had, my lawyer has told me. I'm appreciative to you guys giving me the opportunity to quote unquote corroborate, but I'm not doing it. I would like to be taken back to my cell because I don't have any conversation for anyone. When you begin to converse with them, what ends up happening is your story that you're trying to help yourself with, that you're not telling on anyone, turns into something else and they start throwing more questions at you. So this guy, Calvin Klein, his goal is like, nah, like, you know, I don't know nothing about this person, I don't know about that person, but I'm going to corroborate. I don't know the difference. Corroboration, I don't know the difference between snitching. I don't know the difference between ratting. All I know is that I can call a person who's a civilian and never stepped into the streets, I can call that individual a snitch, but I can't call him a rat because a rat is a person who turns their back on the friends that they committed crimes with, you know? A person that's not into what we into, what I used to be into rather, you can't really bring them forth and say, you know, that person is a rat. But a corroborating witness is what I would call is a rat. A corroborating witness. We must begin to understand that when a person goes in front of these individuals and they speak and they talk, what ends up happening is their conversation begins to get weaker and weaker. And the feds know that if they agree to talk, their conversation is going to get weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. And when you got someone to the highest prestige as Jayz, and anyone asks you a question about him, there's no way we can get to the point of how can $250 million get in my account? How and why? What do you mean? How did we get to that discussion? How did we get to the discussion of how we can even line Jayz up? Or how did we get to what should I do if I won out there? Or what would I do? I don't understand it. It confuses me, man. And what goes on is that you smell jealousy. You smell hatred from the rip. You smell hatred that another individual is free and you're not. You smell that. I smell it. Calvin Klein. I never read his paperwork. So what I'm going to start doing, the dudes I didn't read their paperwork, dudes I know that think they're slicker than anyone else. I'm not gonna call them a rat. I'm gonna call them the government's slave, because you're giving them information of whatever when you know you shouldn't. I'm surprised 50 even had you on your channel, but 50 probably, you know him, he just wanted the story and, you know, get it out there. But at the end of the day, man, Jay-Z probably doesn't contact this guy, go around this guy, because maybe Jay-Z had somebody that was high up there, whether it was a lawyer or somebody come and tell him, stay away from this guy. Because the guy didn't tell on you, but he didn't have enough information to tell on you. If he had some new information or anything, there's a possibility he would have banged you. Because the story about the $250 million going into his bank account don't sit well with me, because it's like, how did y'all get to that conversation? I'm King Earner from the Honor Your Life campaign. The goal is to understand that when you're on the other end and you're doing and you're committing crimes, when they get you, you stay there and you sit there just like this. Lawyer, please. They're going to tell you they know things. They're going to show you pictures with individuals. They're going to tell you we know. So you tell us. And your thing should be, I want my lawyer, because at the end of the day, if you guys knew so much, why am I here conversing? Why are you trying to get conversation out of me? In life, you do not cooperate or kick it with them if that's not what your life calls for you to do. If you're in the streets, you don't talk to the police. If you're not in the streets, of course an individual is going to sit, because they're going to defend themselves in the positivity they have. If you're in the streets, it's called getting a lawyer so you can, you know, the court of law. So I can understand Jay-Z not dealing with a lot of these dudes. At one time, individuals say, Jay-Z, about Jay-Z this, you think he's better? No, I don't think the man think he's better. You know what I think? The man knows that these individuals will bring him down at any given chance. I can't call Calvin Klein a rat. I can't call him a snitch, because I ain't seen his work. But what I can say is this. He's not slick. And Jay-Z is smart and very intelligent. So big ups, much honor to Jay-Z for staying away from this guy, because anyone who goes that far into a conversation and says that the government was going to put so much money in his bank account to do this means that the thought was entertained. I'm King Earner from the Honor Your Life campaign. We need guys that are in Calvin Klein position who get called on to tell the feds to eat a dick. I'm sorry. Youngins, you do not, I repeat, you do not get yourself caught up in the street life, because you got to make decisions that make sense. And those decisions give you an understanding that if you get locked up or you get arrested, you got to take whatever it is that you got going on. Whoever else they bring up, you got to tell them they got to do their own investigation, because you don't know. Jail cell me, kick your feet up. And a lot of people in the comments, they say, how you not been through it all? State and feds. May have not been a billionaire or got all these millions of dollars, but guess what? When they ever ask me about a millionaire, lawyer please. When they ever ask me about anybody that I was supposed to be associated with, lawyer please. Because at the end of the day, if I'm suffering and I'm in jail, you think I want other people that are in the streets that I may have known that done something in jail suffering and their family suffering also? No, that's not how it goes. You get caught, you accept what you've done, and you go to jail or you go to trial, you see? Other than that, there is no honor in the streets, period, because everybody wants to try to be slick with this paperwork thing. Everybody want to play around with it. Everybody say, King Earner, why you say Haitian Jack a rat? You act somehow the machine guns and all that other nonsense got thrown out. I don't understand it. With no trials. A lot of you individuals are simple and don't understand the feds, and I do because I've been there. So At the end of the day, we got to start focusing on individuals like Jay-Z. We need to get the blueprint from him. The reason why is because you know the consequences of your acts, and it was all good a week ago. Think about those two things. Think about that song with him and Too Short, if I'm not mistaken. That was Too Short with him, I think. Yeah, that was Too Short with him in that. But at the end of the day, man, stay focused, youngins. Stay out of the streets. We need more Jay-Z's and less Calvin Kleins. King Earner live and direct.